What's up, y'all? I thought this would be something fun to do. I mean, at first I saw a glimpse and I'm like, okay. And then I ran into this post on Reddit and I was like, interesting, okay. And then I see another post, so there seems to be a double-edged sword on this. So why not just jump in and see if we could provide some extra analysis or anything? And let's get it going. So apparently on the Xbox.com website, Horizon Zero Dawn is now posted on there, but with no information. Now there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this. There we go. I want that blue stuff on my face. PlayStation will never put their first-party single-player games on Xbox. It has begun, said Cody Wood. Kind of like saying, because people said that, oh, that's never going to happen, I understand. Now, coming down here, we got this guy right here, Matias Fontana. This will never happen. Now, guys, this video's going to get interesting because we're going to have some other stuff to look at here, too, in a second. Cody Wood says, I think it is happening regardless of the indexing era. It seems more than likely. Definitely after the success of Helldivers, maybe Sony queuing for, let's just get this extra profit. Definitely after certain controversy. LOL, Cole, this is false and not proof. Come on, dog. LOL, D-Batch and them want to push the, the PlayStation agenda. They love that type of stuff. So he doesn't want that to happen from a PlayStation only console exclusive perspective. You know what I mean? If you're on Xbox and you're over there, last thing you want is it to be like Xbox. That's why some of those people would jump to Nintendo and try to play that other game. Some of them tried. We know Zippy Tech can't do that. Ponies need color. That's why it's hard for them. But continuing to go down, the Lego one, he said, yeah, enjoy the lame, almost 10-year-old game. That's kind of like a downplay. I have the platinum on both. They're good games. So seeing some of this, all right, we've seen this, right? So are we ready for things to get a little more interesting? So on this logo right here, we see this happening. You guys will see this as a thumbnail. Horizon Zero Dawn seemingly the next PlayStation support coming to Xbox. Link to Horizon Zero Dawn game appears in Xbox Store. The same thing happened with Helldivers 2 before it was officially announced for Xbox. Now that did kind of happen in a way. Then you have the double-edged sword of people saying, no, it's the exact opposite because some of these were placeholders before, which we'll get to that in a second. The Reddit post is going to be different from this, but I wanted to highlight this first so that we could see what do we want to decide with here. Now clicking on that gives you the idea of that. Going down here that says it's there for years. This is what I mean. It's going to start with stuff like this. Indexing for short stuff, searched stuff in that store. Archives, Mario Kart archives, God of War. They're trying to say that's what this is. The problem with this is that I understand that there can be a valid historical, fact about something. But the difference is that in those times compared to now, you see Helldivers 2 there. You see more PlayStation games on PC. You see Sony starting up a live service operation, and it said Xbox PC and PC Xbox. And when they tested the waters with Helldivers 2, that probably gave them the notion that, yeah, that's still a lot of money. I would not want to pass up that extra money. So what we're going to do is we're going to test the waters with some other stuff. I think that's the only thing that makes sense. It's like common sense. Still, once again, I'm not saying what it is, but it seems like maybe these may be some of the games that they might be testing. I'm not saying this is clarified. But it will be interesting to see. So there's always going to be that combat against that, though, because that's just how it is. That's still the console we're combating subconsciously coming up. Some people do not want that, and that's this. I'm not looking at it that way. I'm basically just saying, honestly, if they brought Helldivers 2 and they're so successful, something else has to come. So, yeah, we're not clarifying this, but we're not fully denying it either. Lazy Rumors, we still have to read more. Lazy Rumors page has been active for years. This isn't anything new. But once again, years ago, this was not anything to even think about remotely happening. It's false, and that's a really old link. So this is what some of these people are saying, right? Now, when we go here, this is the page. Horizon Zero Dawn, seemingly the next PlayStation port coming to Xbox. Coming down here, a new link suggests PlayStation is planning to release Horizon Zero Dawn on Xbox. A similar trend was observed for Helldivers 2, and eventually it came out for the rivals. That's what this page is saying now. If this is indeed true, it seems both companies are adapting a solid multi-platform strategy. Ever since Helldivers 2 launched on Xbox, speculations and more PlayStation titles being ported to Team Green have been surfacing all over the internet. While Sony denied the rumors, it seems it does have plans for more ports anyway. On your browser, if you currently search for Horizon Zero Dawn Xbox, you can see a link to the game for Xbox. However, if you click on it, it takes you to the German Xbox page, but there it says that the requested page is not available. Yeah, of course not. Why it matters, PlayStation showed intent to release games on other platforms, but that it was primarily for its live service titles like Helldivers 2. That we knew. I know more live service games are going to be coming. However, it seems that something changed its policy. We spotted a dedicated link to Horizon Zero Dawn for Xbox, and it doesn't seem like a coincidence at all. Before Helldivers 2 eventually came to Xbox, it saw a similar thing, indicating a solid cause that Horizon could be the next in line. If it is indeed the case, we might see an announcement soon. This would also mark a huge shift in Sony's policies, which have been very rigid in the past. But now, as console wars don't really exist, multi-platform is the way to go from a business standpoint. And there's a showcase around the corner. I think we can get a lot of answers there. You never know. There's going to be a lot there, so look forward to that. Xbox has also been actively releasing its flagship titles like Indiana Jones for the PlayStation 5. We know that's coming to Switch 2 now. And it looks like Sony is about to do the same. Nonetheless, we will soon find out if the link becomes a reality or if it was just a mistake. Do you think PlayStation could be planning on doing that? All right, you guys let me know. I think it's possible. Now going over to Reddit, Horizon Zero Dawn coming to Xbox 8 hours ago. This is a Reddit post. We're gonna look at all of this here, right? If I'm gonna step in, let's dive into it. You know what I mean? False is a link that this guy picked on, or picked, saying this right here, removed by moderator. So we gotta go back over here. Can't post images, so I am going to post the original post from Reddit. Basically, there's a link to the Xbox store for Horizon Zero Dawn. If you look it in Google, once you go there, it leads to the German Xbox store that states that the URL that you are looking for can't be found. Maybe there will be an announcement soon. Going down, this link has been there for years because of the PC version, I believe. Uncharted also has one. And there's 458 upvotes. This is what these guys are trying to say, but who knows if this is a PlayStation post thread, right? Because it can get crazy like that. LMAO, crazy how something can be years old and get reposted as if new. I guess not everyone knew. Yeah, I think so. Remember seeing one for The Last of Us a while back? But my thing is I get what they're trying to say. But now, that is more possible than ever because Sony has it. Xbox PC, PC Xbox for the live service operation. Remember? So, I get what they're saying. But that's why I say I can't 100% clarify or deny. But it's open to happen more than ever, and it's at the highest chance of it happening more than ever. You guys see what I'm saying? Like, so if there's any chance of it happening, now is more than ever. Back then, no, I wouldn't. I would be right. They're saying that, right? Keeping it real. But now, I don't know. Just leaving that room open for that possibility. Didn't something like this happen with The Last of Us over a year ago? Edit. Actually, it was a thing, and it's still up. Curiosity. It also goes to the German store. Some random German guy trying his best to manifest them into existence, maybe? I'm not gonna be here long. So he puts Last of Us on there too, Last of Us Part 2. Interesting. Let's keep going down, y'all. Don't think this means anything. You can search basically any PlayStation game on Google and it has an Xbox German Xbox link. This was linked previously a couple of years ago and got debunked. Now you're trying to reshare this again as if it's new. Wait, so he's saying this is not new? Hold on a second here. I don't think Horizon Zero Dawn ever popped up. I don't know, guys. All right, we spotted a dedicated link to Horizon Zero Dawn, a link. So you can't say that historically as 100%, and the reason why I say this is because Helldivers 2 did have that, and it did happen, and they announced it. That's why I say that it's hard to clarify that only with that history, when history has been changed in the console industry where you're used to like, man, this has never happened before, like Xbox going to PC, PlayStation going to PC, things like that happening where it's like, historically, we can't do that because things have changed. So that's why I say there is room for error, but there's also room for more potential. And this is kind of the best I can kind of give on this without going too far to making it seem more fanboyish, which I'm not going to do. But hey, you guys let me know what you think. What do you want to add in? Obviously, we know ponies don't want this happening. I'm pretty sure PlayStation gamers don't care because that means Sony gets more money and they can make more games. At the end of the day, it's not bothering me. I have my platinum on this game and I have my platinum on Forbidden. Yeah, I platinum all PlayStation games, so seeing other people being able to enjoy this, I don't necessarily see as a neutral perspective separated from any label side that's necessarily a bad thing. You know how I am with that. This is just community stuff and gaming stuff. So, you know, we're all about supporting that no matter what platform. It's the corporate stuff we'll slam over here. But all in all, yeah, hopefully it happens, right? I'm not one to say, no, I don't want it to happen. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, grow up. All right, y'all, peace out. Have a great day. Let me know what you think. Later. Sit down.